internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours Crypto. Let's get right into today's episode. Wow. As I'm putting this video together, as I compiled all the information and connected everything together, I cannot believe what we are about to witness, and every single thing that we have been talking about on this channel was so accurate, it is disgusting. And the information that I'm going to go over today is absolutely insanity. Brian Armstrong came out of Washington, D.C. saying it straight. They're reinventing the whole system. They're not tweaking it. They're not adding a new app. They're reinventing the system from the ground up. Closed door meetings, the biggest players in crypto, banking, regulators. And guess who was there? Ripple and also Charles Hoskinson, right? ADA. And he said, great meeting today, XRP Nation. The Ripple folks did really well. Like, are you seeing what's happening right now? And Brian, take it away.
Types of investments and asset classes, capital formation, credit, like all these things can get reinvented, made more efficient in the crypto world. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do. We're trying to create more economic freedom in the world and update the financial system.
And then if we piggyback off of yesterday's episode of the bombshell by DBS and Franklin Templeton announcing repo markets powered by tokenized collateral and stablecoins, everyone rushed Twitter and they were saying, oh, look, they're not mentioning XRP, it's RLUSD. This is what the rookies read. These are the individuals that don't understand, but they don't even try to understand what's actually being done. And in today's episode, I'm going to tell you why. We all know, the ones that know, that XRP is the secret sauce, okay?
The second key thing is, I think, liquidity.
now the second one is more complicated. It has to do with liquidity. So imagine that you have a pair of currencies for which there is not a complementary demand. You need to go and search for a third-party currency in order to make this settlement actually happen.
There's upwards of $200 trillion in FX volumes, but in stablecoin volumes, it was like $25 trillion, mostly through speculative trading. So the next challenge that we have as an industry is to now create the breadth and depth of liquidity for stablecoins across key currency pairs like AED and others.
So you have to understand how these layers are built. Institutions will never come out and drop XRP into the press release until the rails are already locked in and the markets are mature.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough.
Monica Long told you the blueprint herself. Tokenized assets only work if you have two things: liquid secondary markets and utility for those tokens as collateral. That's exactly what DBS, Franklin Templeton, and Ripple are putting together right now. And then you have Jack McDonald, because some of you guys don't believe it when I say it, but it's coming out from Jack McDonald, Ripple's VP of stablecoins. And he just put numbers on the table. He's talking repo transaction volumes in the tens of trillions globally, 12 trillions just in the US this year. Do you understand the magnitude of that? Repo is the bloodstream of global finance. Whoever provides the liquidity engine for that flow becomes the backbone. And this is where XRP comes in. Not as a headline, but that invisible plumbing is what we call it. It has the final settlement between stablecoins and tokenized treasuries. Instant access to these trillions in repo markets. Deep liquidity buffers when collateral moves at scale. and you have predictability through escrow and transparency that the regulators demand. And then you have Reese Merrick. Like, what is actually going on? Are we dreaming? No, because we educated ourselves on these dreams, okay? Reese Merrick comes out and says he's the Ripple's managing director, okay, for the Middle East and Africa. He said, slowly, then all at once. This is not marketing. This is foreshadowing of what is about to happen. And remember, those monstrous announcements, monstrous banks, these US banks, JP Morgan was here too, right? And even listen to this, remember, so these banks are scared now because crypto is going to give you more yield on your stable coins, and they think that, well, not they think, they know, so they're trying to do it all on a collaborative effort. This is where it came to a point where, like, okay, like, everybody's actually going to go over to crypto, so we need to all come together. But the thing was, Ripple was trying to come together years ago, but they didn't want to. So they were forced into doing this, and we already knew this was going to happen. This is the best part about this.
There's a lot at stake here. A Treasury Department report found $6.6 trillion could be transferred from bank deposits to stablecoins, driven in part by consumers trying to get the best bang for their buck. Banking advocacy groups are warning that that will constrict capital flow.
So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but this is remarkable. This is absolutely remarkable with what's happening right now. And when you put it all together, like, Armstrong is telling you that a whole new system is being reinvented. And in the closed door meetings, you had Ripple, you had Cardano, you had JP Morgan, you have Coinbase, you have Kraken, you have all these big players, right? And then you have Monica Long telling you what conditions are required, and that DBS and Franklin Templeton are building that with Ripple. And then you have Jack McDonald reminding you, if I haven't reminded you already by now, that there are $12 trillion in a sandbox just in the US alone.
As you put it, a huge paradigm shift. And I like that you said it was your North Star. For my fellow panelists, what will be the North Star for you all, or kind of that moonshot, if you will, from where you sit?
Well, I mean, if we fast forward a decade, my humble belief is a majority of financial assets will have been issued natively as digital assets on a blockchain, traded on a blockchain. That is hugely disruptive to how financial services works today, which is via, permissioned intermediaries. And I think public blockchains offer the opportunity to catalyze greater innovation in the space than we've seen to date. And this is finance's internet moment, right? This is when the financial architecture changes materially. It's having been in financial service.
And then you have Reese Merrick saying the floodgates are about to open all at once. Folks, this is the playbook. They're not going to say XRP until it's too late for the skeptics to front run it. This is how infrastructure gets built. Stealth. And they do all these pilots. Okay? And remember, we've been right all along. And the only sour individuals are the ones that didn't accumulate. And if you're getting in now, and if you understand the technology, add a boy, add a girl, just listen. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Do not take this for granted. And the longer you think about it, the longer you are on the sideline, the less that you are gonna get.
We are in the early stages of this technology, and I really want to provide some examples of that. It generally takes about 25 to 30 years for human beings to adopt a new data transfer technology. Radio was invented in 1890, but wasn't commercially available until the 1920s. TV was developed in the 1920s, but wasn't in homes until the 1950s. Email was invented in 1969, but most of you most likely didn't have an email address until 1997. There is one that I really want to focus on, and that's TCP/IP, which is the internet, for those that don't know. It was developed as a DARPA project in 1970, but it wasn't really commercially accepted until 1995 when it was rolled out with Windows 95. There's another important date, which is 1983. 1983 is when TCP/IP was accepted as the standard protocol for internet development, 13 years after it was created. Well, here we are, 13 years after Bitcoin was created, and we're just now starting to talk about standardization. This is not a coincidence. Adoption at this stage is not a technology problem, it's a human conditioning issue. Every 13-year-old in the United States has only existed in a world where Bitcoin has existed. 3 years from now, every 16-year-old will have only existed in a world where Bitcoin has existed. 16 years old is an important date because it's generally when someone becomes interested in becoming a developer. They are the adoption layer. We here in this room, we're the infrastructure layer. It's our responsibility to create an environment where every 13-year-old American has a framework upon which they can build the next world on.
Okay, so I highly recommend you do your due diligence and you do not speak to your loved ones if you guys have money in the bank, and get it out before you're going to be forced to get it out. Get it out before the bank tells you to get it out. Okay, you can be your own financial advisor here. You could take matters into your own risk and do this. Okay. And if you're still asking why XRP isn't mentioned, remember, you're missing the entire point. XRP is the settlement layer underneath all of it, okay? They're building the tracks, and XRP is the train, okay? So, or the plumbing and XRP is the water. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And I'm going to talk about the yacht party in a single video. I'm going to talk about in depth. But we are hosting the yacht party, the Mega Seafair, but I've only talked about this twice because I'm not going to bombard it, because these are I want all the like-minded individuals on this boat, the ones that saw it before the media told us about it, right? Before the latecomers, told you about it. The link is in the description down below. I'm going to go over how many is available right now. Okay, so I'm going to get the numbers. Take a look at this, okay? We are not doing good on this price ticket sales, and we had a lot of people committed to it, more than expected, but the unexpected happened. But right now, the cost is supposed to be $1,300 per head. Okay, everything's included, everything. I've sent out emails. If you guys received them previously, if you were on the list, go ahead and take a look at it. But I'm going to make just a dedicated video for the yacht party. But the maximum individuals you could come with is 2. So a 3 per household. Because there is a max of 330, and VIP already sold out when we first announced it. And we have general admission, which I believe it's about $1,272 right now, $1,272. So you would click on that. You would go through all your, if you have dietary stuff, only vegan, you would click that. Do you need a wheelchair? No, yes. Your emergency contact, right? And then the phone number and a t-shirt size, please. And just a few questions until you get to the end, okay? And it'll tell you to send 432 XRP to this registered address below, okay? So if we do not, or if we are not successful with this, we are gonna, first we're having a big Zoom meeting in regards to this once we lock this in. But there's gonna be a closing date on this, which I'll announce on the dedicated video coming up next week. But folks, there's only, like I said, not too many house spots to fill, okay? Because if you guys all come with a +1, it's gonna fill up real quick. And when you send the XRP here, make sure it's the exact amount so it gets confirmed. And then you're gonna put in your transaction hash number here, okay? You'll see it when you go to your payment history, when you send it and you paste it here, and then it confirms it, and then you submit it, okay? So if you guys are interested for the 24 Hours Crypto Yacht Party hosted on the Mega Seafair, okay, it's the biggest yacht in North America. Ripple used it, JP Morgan used it, Fox Sports, Cisco, CBS, ADP, Aston Martin, you name it, Salesforce, every Porsche, everybody, Coca-Cola, $1 trillion companies have used this boat that we're going to go on, okay? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the dedicated last video, and then we are going to close this off. We're going to see alternatives, and if we are not successful, everybody is going to get refunded. So you could even go ahead and check out, all the funds are there. Whoever already sent it, it's all there. It's all, like I said, once we settle this, we got to lock in the date, and we are good to go. So with that being said, it'll be August 2025. So we still have long ways to go. But we need to lock this down and put the deposit down, or we cannot fully proceed with it. It's the collecting the money part is the hardest part. So if we could all come together as a community, it's not many tickets, folks. This is not many tickets at all. So I know we could do this. The link's in the description down below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And hopefully we could do this so I can see everybody in Miami next year. And next year, FIFA is also in Miami. So just saying, it's going to be a action-packed weekend. So with that being said, we'll be back with another video.
Up this morning, check my bags on the chain. XRPL still humming while the FUD folks complain. Ripple fighting Goliath, yeah, the SSA's game. But Johnny D and Hogan, they're bringing the flame. So we salute to the rebels in suits, to the coders and hodlers wearing dusty old boots. Raise a toast to the ledger and the lawyers who bite, while taco stand dumps through the middle of the night. Damn, Jed, can you chill? Brad G's on the mic saying clarity now, while Shorts codes the stars with the hologram cow watch. The haters keep chirping, but the people ain't blind. This ain't some mean dream, it's the internet spine. Regulators stalling, but the clock's ticking fast. Ripple drops the case like a baseline blast. Communities united, from Twitter to the street. We meme through the madness and never admit defeat. Yeah, we salute to the devs and the geeks, to the ledger that clears in seconds, not weeks. To D, to Hogan, to legal delight, and the salty old taco that just loves to spite. Hey Jed, you done yet? Or you got another dump scheduled for lunch? So here's to the warriors, the freaks, and the fans, waving salute tokens like battle flags in hand. It ain't just about coins, it's a movement, a pact. We defend what we build, and we're taking it back. Come on, salute to the ones in the fight, to the token that laughs in regulatory spite, to Schwartz, Brad, and the ones still believing, even while taco stands always leaving. One for XRP, and raise your guitar for decentralized dreams. This song's for the ledger, the truth and the proof. With a smile and a nod, we say salute.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.